Okay, this is my vlog for Library 100 on the New Student Dialogue. And my topic was uh, privilege in a modern society, kind of. And what we discussed was that what type of people have the most privilege in the world right now, and basically just America in general, because and we laid out topics, and each one had like gender, race, religious standings, and actual if you were an American citizen or not. And then also went into more depth with age, education, and if you like what type of job you held, and how much money you made, obviously. And when we got down to it, the most privileged people were white Christian males with more than a high school education that were roughly middle class. Those had the most privilege. And then second in order was white females with above high school education, and so on and so on. But the least, the one of the most privileged though wasn't someone that was, for say, my age. It was more someone, children and the elderly had the most privilege, and then people my age, like no matter what ethnicity or just talking about age in general, we had the least amount of privilege. Which, if you think about it, makes sense. Kids, you don't really have a lot to worry about, and elderly, you've already kind of lived your life. I know it's kind of bad to say, but I mean, when you're elderly, you get senior discounts, health care and all this. When you're young, you don't have to worry about money. You get to, go to school, have fun. While when you're my age, you have to worry about what your life's going to turn into, how, if you're living your life correctly, and being able to actually get a well-paying job, either outside of high school, as if you're not going to go to college, or after college. And the active voices in that dialogue, really, like, there were like 4 groups, and only out of that group one person talked, and we shared the group's opinions and why we chose certain type of people to be more privileged than others. There were some reserved voices. If I remember correctly, there was one female in one of the groups who was a active feminist, which I have nothing wrong against, but she was saying like how man is evil, and thanks to how mankind is, that females get put down, and females should be the most privileged out of all of us. And honestly, I honestly don't know. I'm 19, and I'm in college. I'm just trying to graduate first and be able to find a job, and then be able to later down on in the future support my family. 'Cause that's all that really matters to me right now. And then in my role, in my group, I was kind of the intermediator, because we had one side that agreed on certain parts of the list, and then we had the other side, and I was kind of the middleman to decide which one to put in the list for us. And I feel like my kind of conservative views from being born and raised in the South kind of lean towards what we ended up choosing. But I kind of feel like overall the class kind of agreed with what my group picked, and what one or two other groups picked, and like that all, it makes sense, after everything we did, we boiled it all down and talked about it more, and it really does make sense about who has the most privilege in our modern society. Okay. I feel like the New Student Dialogue is a useful tool, simply because the fact that it allows students, well, new college students, and in my case, transfer students, to get kind of acquainted with what really happens at college and post-college. There were some other topics that honestly dealt a lot more with college life, like alcohol, drugs, and parties and when to study, what not to study, stuff like that. And I feel like if I would have gone to one of those, it would have affected me more because I come from a well-off family, so I've been kind of privileged my entire life. So, and then I kind of feel like this allowed students to get their views out. Like going back to that feminist woman, well, I shouldn't really, say it like that, but going back to her, she got her own opinions out there while the majority of the class did not agree with her opinions. She still was able to actually get her own opinions out there, while in the real world, she would have just been shot down before even be able to say a single word. So I feel like the new student dialogues really helped her explain herself and let her get her voice and her opinion out in the world. And I felt like that was a good option for them to be able to do for her. And for the rest of us, and to try to just get our overall voice and opinion onto the topic, which was our new student dialogue, which is who has the most privilege, or what is the most privileged class or race or type of people in modern America. Thank you for watching, and my name is William Beasley, and I'm out.